You already know this, but I'm going to tell you anyways, because I think it's important, and maybe some people don't know this. Specifically, maybe the younger generation, right? I got sorry about the squeak, I just washed the car. I got a comment on a live stream a while back from a young person, and they said, hey, what is your advice for young people? And I told them, simplify your life as much as you can. Don't get into debt as much as you can. Don't be seduced by flashy advertising as much as you can. Get out of as many systems as you can, including healthcare system. Financial system, at least insulate yourself. We know another crash is coming, similar to 2008, similar to early 2000, the dot-com bubble. Similar to something that happened in the 80s, wasn't it? The savings and loans, similar to the Great Depression. Many people believe, and I'm one of them, that the next financial collapse is going to be Great Depression-like. And I think it's going to be that way. In 2008, the world and or Americans still had faith in the U.S. government. They don't have that faith anymore. I don't have that faith anymore. You know? You already know that the system's rigged. Everyone knows the system's rigged. Some people are still playing along, kind of head in the sand kind of a thing, and you know, we all have to do that to a degree, right? But the reality is, this carnival ride is going to come to an end, and when it does, did you see that carnival ride that broke in, I think it was Saudi Arabia? The arm broke and it fell. Luckily, no one was hurt. That's what's going to happen to this economy. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it, but that's what's going to happen because our leaders, I use that word because, you know, the people who think they need to run us and govern us, they're either incompetent, very incompetent, or very corrupt. I've already come to the conclusion they're very corrupt. We don't get in the situation that we're in by accident. You know what I'm saying? I used to think they're incompetent, and then I realized, oh, you mofos are really competent. You're really competent at pretending like you're incompetent, at making us think that you're incompetent. But they're very competent. They're very competent. If you've seen Foster Graham's pyramid of control for the world, power comes from the top down. They've convinced us that power comes from the bottom up. We the people run the country. No, it's not. If we the people ran the country, we wouldn't be $37 trillion in debt. We wouldn't be going to wars in all of these other nations because no one I didn't have a beef with Iraq. I don't have a beef with Libya, right? And I now know after peeling back the surface that anything Iraq and Libya did most likely was goaded or coerced or manipulated by the United States government to do it. The Iran-Iraq war, Saddam Hussein unaliving like 800 people right after he took office in the square there. The CIA instigated that, right? My point is this. Everyone knows it's coming to an end, but this is a video for people that may not realize it. Like, the financial system is going to come to an end. My suggestion, and I'm doing the same thing, is to untangle yourself as much as possible from insulate yourself as much as possible from the impending collapse that is coming. Whatever that means to you, right? I'm not a financial advisor, and I can't tell you what to do because these times are unprecedented. I've made unprecedented moves in my own financial, portfolio because I don't want to get caught up in the bullshit, right? I lived through that 2008 debacle. I was, that was almost 20 years ago. I was in a different mindset, and I didn't know what I know now. I didn't know about the Federal Reserve. I don't think I even had discovered G. Edward Griffin at that time. I mean, that was a long time ago. I remember sitting in the tire shop getting either tires rotated or new tires or something, and the financial pundits were saying, yeah, the stock market has never dipped below 40-ish%. Remember, it went down 40-ish% total. People were freaking out. They were freaking out, pulling their money out. And I was like, I just did what the big boys and girls said, right? Don't get crazy. Hold tight. It'll come back. And it did come back, right? I don't think that's going to be the same this time around. Every carnival ride has to end, right? And like I said, I think when this carnival ride ends, it's going to break. It's going to break hard. You know, many people are insulating themselves from the BS. I knew people who lost everything in 08, right? Some of them were building spec homes, right? And making a lot of money and riding that wave, you know, build one, sell it, make a lot of money, build two, sell it, like make a lot of money, build 3 or 4, oh, the music stopped, you don't have a seat, you're done, right? I think what's going to happen this time is there's either going to be a rug pull, you know, as I'm looking out there and watching, there's either going to be a rug pull with AI, you know, the valuation, is the valuation of AI really there? Some financial people think that it's not, think that a lot of it is hype. I don't know. It might be. There's either going to be a rug pull like they do with the crypto meme coins, etc., or there has been systemic problems introduced into our financial system. I've heard it could have to do with pensions, buying up certain assets that are inherently problematic and or kind of poison to the financial market, so to speak, much like the derivatives were back in the day. Like, oh, let's bundle all these bad loans up and sell them up, and then it becomes like this whole shit show where you've got, you know, systemic problems in the money system, and it's a ticking time bomb. I think that same thing's going to happen again, and I've heard that it might be in the might wipe out pensions. You know, I don't know. It's wild. It's wild. I'm hearing credit card consumer debt is up. People are struggling. You know, I look at it as financial warfare happening to American people, and the whole world's experiencing it too. My understanding is other countries are experiencing it worse than we are, which really sucks because our federal government and our Federal Reserve caused it. And I'll close with this. The Federal Reserve was created under the pretense that it would stabilize the dollar and make our lives better. That's a bald-faced lie, right? The Federal Reserve Act passed in 1913. My understanding is under strange circumstances, maybe during a Christmas break when not a lot of people were there. Look into it, fact check me on it. But 1913 Federal Reserve Act passed to stabilize the money. What happened in 1929? Well, we had the huge stock market crash. And what happened? Insiders pulled out well before the crash and got out and got their seats, took their seats before the music stopped playing. Well, who didn't get a seat? The American working class didn't get a seat, right? And I've been studying hard what happened during the Great Depression and 08, right? There's always funny trades going on. It's almost like some people have insider knowledge well before the music stops playing. And I, for one, am not going to be in a position to, get hosed over again like 08, even though it all worked out, right, in 08, because I didn't get out of the market, but many did, and I can't blame them. I can't blame them. There's my piece. Suggestions for you. Check out the Great Awakening Guide at greatawakeningguide.com. That's the free resource I created with tons of links to documentaries, movies, books, etc. And it's free download, PDF. And also check out Jim Rickards. And not Jim Rickards. He's a good resource too. Check out David Rogers Webb, The Great Taking. I think that's the next play. Let me speak to that for a moment if you haven't heard about it. It's a documentary. It's also a book. It's fantastic. He believes, based on his research, he worked in the financial industry for many years, he believes that the next taking, they always take from us, Wall Street gets bailed out with our money, which are really debt notes. They pile it on the national debt, which is debt on Americans and their children and their grandchildren and etc. He believes the great taking is going to happen in this way this time, or this way will happen. They'll sweep assets because the dollar isn't worth anything anymore, right? The dollar's worth little. There's no confidence in the dollar. He believes that anything that is collateralized by debt, and he's researched this, will be potentially taken, right? Homes, cars, boats, stocks and bonds, anything of a value, any asset class that is collateralized by debt, meaning you don't own it outright, he believes will be taken, could be taken. And they'll say the same thing they did in 2008. We have to do this for the greater good. Those institutions are too big to fail. We can't let the system fail. It's robbery. It's theft. They're con men. They're grifters, right? And politicians are involved. People in, the regulatory industry is involved, and he claims they've already tested the sweeping system, or the behind the scenes things that will need to happen for that to happen at the Federal Reserve, at the money systems, etc. It's a fantastic documentary. So there's my piece. I appreciate you very much for watching. Leave me a thumbs up. Share this with someone who you think might need to hear it, that wants to protect their assets when the next great collapse happens. I appreciate you. Have an awesome day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.